Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you here in the audience to the 19th edition of kimff this year. My name is Prasna Dongo, and on behalf of Kathmandu International Mountain Film Festival, I would like to thank you, all of you in the audience, and also to everyone who are joining us through live on our Facebook page. Like every year, we have carefully crafted films from all around the world this year as well. And the films that I've been screening this year are very much carefully crafted, and they're really amazing and what we believe is very important films that carry important messages and encourage audience to watch and engage in a very critical dialogue. We have 40 films on our international program this year, that being 13 being in the Nepal Panorama section. This year's lineup of film include documentaries, fictions, short films, experimental films, and animation as well. We also have different events, panel discussions, and photo exhibition as well that is running at Nepal Tourism Board till the 13th of December. This year, we have taken a hybrid approach where we will be showcasing 19 films here in Film Development Board, and all of these 62 films we will be screening at at our website, which is www.festival.kimff.org. This is especially for our friends and fellow filmmakers who are not here today to join us live on the screening. So the film will be running till the 13th of December. Now, without further ado, I would like to call upon our kimff chair, Mr. Basanta Thapa, to come on stage and address the opening speech, please. Thank you. Mr. Basanta Thapa. You say live, sorry.
Namaste, everybody. I'm not feeling too well and too bright today. But don't worry, this is not corona. This is just my upset tummy, which is bothering me. Anyway, good to see you all here once again. We didn't expect this hall to be full like this, because the invitation was restricted. We didn't want to be the super spreader of corona. We leave that job to the political gatherings. Like this year, we were here last year because Nepal was still not fully recovered from the impact of the lockdown. And we decided to have a, like Prasna said, hybrid or semi-virtual film festival, which was a totally new thing to us, totally new experience. We didn't know what was in store. It was an uncharted course we are on. Nonetheless, we decided to go hybrid, meaning certain events like this opening ceremony, closing ceremony, prize giving ceremony, some panel discussions were held in the presence of live audience, and rest all the films were shown online. But this new experience proved to be very interesting and very rewarding as well in one sense. We were able to reach out to the entire world so people could watch our films from anywhere on the planet. By just one single touch on their laptops, computers, and smartphones. The computed numbers revealed that all in all, 26,000 viewers visited our website during the festival time, which was very, very heartening. While planning this 19th edition, we were aware of the persisting threat of corona. It so happens that the latest corona variant, Omicron, is here. It is staring at our face hard. So in these circumstances, we again had no choice but to go hybrid and come to the auditorium of Field Development Board, which is so comfortable and cozy, I would say. Also fully equipped. Like Omicron, climate change is a real threat. The planet Earth is reeling under its impact, bringing untold miseries to humankind across the continents. Each individual's karma is therefore intertwined with the well-being of Mother Nature. Our umbilical cord is attached to Mother Earth, and it is our bound duty to do everything possible to heal the badly tormented natural world. That is why we have kept our focus trained on climate change and made this our theme for this year's festival. We are all aware of the power of audio-visual medium. And it is our firm belief and commitment to use this powerful medium for the societal good and upliftment. This is an effective medium for informing, educating people on a whole range of issues, including the climate change. Our dedicating of this year's kimff to climate change is a small local step towards the global cause. We have so many films, like Prasna already informed you, on the platter. You enjoy them over 5 days' time from today. And I welcome you all, particularly Environmentalist Mr. Sonam Wangchuk from Ladakh, who have come all the way from Ladakh to be with us and share his experience and wisdom. Thank you very much. Enjoy the kimff show.
Thank you, Basanta sir. It's always a pleasure hearing from you. So the independent films and cinema have grown and flourished over the last 20 years, and so has kimff. This would not have been possible without the incredible support of our friends and sponsors and partners as well. Now I would like to invite Mr. Dayaram Dahal, Film Development Board Chair, on stage to say a few words.
नमस्कार यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएका सम्पूर्ण चलचित्र प्रेमी महानुभावहरूमा चलचित्र विकास बोर्डको तर्फबाट र मेरो व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट हार्दिक अभिवादन टक्राउन चाहन्छु। मैले लामो बोल्नुभन्दा पनि यहाँ विषयविज्ञहरू हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूको कुरा सुन्नु उपयुक्त होला। सबैभन्दा पहिला त किमको यो 19औं एडिसनलाई धेरै धेरै शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु र चलचित्र विकास बोर्ड पनि उहाँहरूको एउटा सहयोगी पार्टनरको रूपमा भूमिका निभाउँदै आउन पाएको र त्यसको मौका दिनुभएकोमा किम परिवारलाई धेरै धेरै आभार प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु। मैले भन्नु त्यति धेरै छैन। अब क्लाइमेट चेन्जको जुन विषयलाई लिएर यसलाई फोकस गरेर जुन किमले आयोजना गरिरहेको छ यो कार्यक्रम फिल्म फेस्टिभल, वास्तवमा भन्ने हो भने हिमालय रेन्जमा भएको हाम्रो जस्तो देशलाई क्लाइमेट चेन्जले धेरै ठुलो असर गरिरहेको कुरा कोप 2021मा पनि हाम्रा सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यूले व्यक्त गरिसक्नु भएको छ र यहाँ नेपालबाट 5 वटा फिल्महरू पनि गएका थिए। हाम्रा ग्लेसियरहरू पग्लिने क्रम बढ्दो छ। औद्योगिक रूपमा हाम्रो देश त्यति अगाडि नभएको भए पनि औद्योगिक राष्ट्रहरूले विकसित देशहरूको कार्बन उत्सर्जनले जुन हाम्रा हिमालय क्षेत्रहरूमा प्रभाव पारेको छ, यो हाम्रो हिमालय क्षेत्रको मात्र समस्या नभएर यसले ग्लोबल्ली नै एउटा नराम्रो असर पुर्याइरहेको तथ्य दिन प्रतिदिन पृथ्वीको तापमान वृद्धि र टेम्परेचर वृद्धिको जुन प्रकारको हामीले समाचारहरू सुनिरहेका छौँ र अनुभव गरिरहेका छौँ, त्यसले पनि त्यो असरबारे प्रष्ट हुन सकिन्छ। त्यसैले गर्दा क्लाइमेट चेन्जलाई प्रभाव पार्ने तत्त्वहरूलाई निष्क्रिय बनाउन आह्वान गर्दै आयोजना गरिएको यो किम फिल्म फेस्टिभललाई पुनः एकपटक शुभकामना प्रदान गर्दै चलचित्र विकास बोर्ड यी र यस्ता सबै प्रकारका फेस्टिभलहरूलाई, महोत्सवहरूलाई, गोष्ठीहरूलाई निरन्तर सहयोग गर्न प्रतिबद्ध छ र हामी पनि हाम्रो जलवायुसँग जोडिएका विषयहरूलाई, हाम्रो संस्कृति, हाम्रो समाजसँग जोडिएका विषयलाई लिएर निरन्तर कार्यक्रमहरूलाई अगाडि बढाउने तयारीमा छौँ। यो पेन्डेमिक पछिको अलिकति हल्का यात्रा महसुस भएको छ आज पनि मलाई, किनभने धेरै लामो समयपछि हलभरि मान्छे बसेर यो कार्यक्रम आयोजना गर्न हामीले सकेका छौँ। आशा गरौँ आगामी दिनमा हामीले एकले अर्कालाई देखेर फर्किनुपर्ने अवस्था नआओस् र यो कोरोनालाई परास्त गर्दै हामी हाम्रा गतिविधिलाई अगाडि बढाउन सकौँ भन्दै पुनः एकपटक शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you. On Saturday, 11th of December, we will be screening 10 short films that have been shortlisted for this year's short film competition. The tagline of the short film competition is Green Growth, Green Recovery, which is supported by the delegation of the European Union to Nepal. Now I would like to invite EU Ambassador to Nepal, Her Excellency Nona Deprez, to say a few words.
Thank you. Distinguished participants in this opening session, first and foremost, many congratulations to the organizers of this important Kim Festival for having organized yet again an edition despite the difficult and challenging conditions. Our reasons for being with you here today and to support you in our work is really guided by our very strong conviction that we need to continue to raise awareness on the growing importance of our environment and the riches that it carries in order to make human life possible here on our planet. Preservation of mountain ecosystems is crucial for the survival of our mankind here. So the European Union is very happy to partner with kimff in raising awareness on the adverse impacts of climate change and the urgent need to promote green, resilient and inclusive development and sustained ways of building our societies in an inclusive and fair way. That's the reason why we joined hands to hold a short film competition on green growth and green recovery, So we're very happy that the 10 top films will be shown here on Saturday. And the winning film will receive a cash prize of 500 euros. Culture really connects people. So I'm very happy that we are part and sponsoring this film festival, and I wish all of us a very successful film festival. Thank you.
This year we've received great numbers of submissions despite the pandemic. We have young filmmakers from the age of 13 to matured filmmakers as well taking part in the short film competition. So we're really glad to showcase the films. So moving on, let me introduce you to kimff jury for this year, without whom the festival would not have been possible. This year's jury includes Caroline Fink, who is a filmmaker, photographer, alpinist, and a writer based in Switzerland. Then we have Mario Casella, who is the award-winning author of the 4 books, a journalist and a mountaineer from Switzerland as well. And then we have our very own Nepali theatre artist and director, Mr. Anup Baral, with us today. I would like to request our technical team to screen a greeting message video from Caroline and Mario.
Hello, my name is Caroline Fink. I am right now sitting in Zurich in my atelier. I'm a photographer and filmmaker from Switzerland, and I'm very happy and very excited to be in the jury of the International Kathmandu Mountain Film Festival. So today I would really say hello from Zurich and enjoy the next coming days of this festival with all these beautiful films from Nepal and all over the world. Bye bye.
Hi, hello to everyone from the southern Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, where we are having a lot of snow right now in these hours. It's a big pleasure for me to be part of the jury of the Kathmandu International Mountain Film Festival. So please enjoy the films, and ciao a tutti dalla Svizzera italiana. Ciao ciao.
Thank you. Now I would like to request Mr. Anup Dahal to come on stage and share a few words with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Kathmandu Mountain Film Festival को यो 19th एडिसनमा पाल्नुभएका सम्पूर्ण सिने अनुरागी सिनेमा मेकर्सहरू र भारतबाट आउनुभएका हाम्रो विशिष्ट गेस्ट लाई हार्दिक नमन गर्न चाहे। kimff फिल्म फेस्टिभल मेरो जीवनको एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण पाठशाला जस्तै हो भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ। हरेक वर्ष kimff फिल्म फेस्टिभल सुरुवात हुँदाखेरि म आफ्नो क्यालेन्डरमा यो कहिले सुरु हुन्छ र यसमा सहभागी हुन पाएँ भने म कसरी दीक्षित हुन्छु भनेर त्यसलाई मार्क गरेर राखिराखेको हुन्छु। र त्यो किन पनि हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि संसारभरिका महत्त्वपूर्ण फिल्महरू, राम्रा फिल्महरू हामी नेपालमै बसेर त्यसलाई चाहिँ अवलोकन गर्न पाउँछौँ र हाम्रो सिनेमाको धरातल हामी कहाँ छौँ र बाहिरका सिनेमा मेकरहरूले कसरी सोच्दा रहेछन् भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ तुलनात्मक रूपले अध्ययन गर्ने मौका पाउँछौँ। त्यस हिसाबले पनि मेरो लागि एकदमै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ र नेपालका अधिकांश फिल्म मेकरहरू यही फेस्टिभलबाट आफ्नो कलालाई प्रस्तुत गरेर उहाँहरू चाहिँ बाहिर आउनुभएको छ। त्यस अर्थमा पनि यसको चाहिँ महत्त्व अत्यन्तै विशिष्ट खालको छ भन्ने म सोच्छु र त्यो उत्साह जुन थियो पहिला, अहिले पनि मलाई त्यो उत्साहमा चाहिँ थप ऊर्जा प्राप्त भएको छ। त्यसो हुनुको पछाडि चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि पहिला पहिला म सिनेमा हेर्थेँ र सिनेमाको परिकल्पना गर्थेँ फिल्म अब बन्ने आउने स्क्रिनिङ हुने सिनेमा कस्तो हुन्छ होला भनेर। यसपालि चाहिँ जुरी मेम्बर भएको छु र त्यो फिल्महरू सौभाग्यवश मैले पहिले नै हेर्ने मौका पाएको छु। एक हिसाबले राम्रो पनि हो, एक हिसाबले फेरि दोहोऱ्याएर हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यसको जुन मजा फर्स्ट टाइममा लिँदाखेरि हुन्छ त्यो छुट्छ कि भन्ने डर पनि छ। तर म यो फिल्म हेरिसकेपछि यहाँलाई विश्वासका साथ के भन्न चाहन्छु भने यी सिनेमा मात्र होइनन्, यी साँच्चैका अद्भुत सिनेमाहरू हुन् जुन तपाईँ यो 5 दिन देख्न चाहिँ पाउनुहुनेछ। संसारभरिका फिल्महरू यस सत्रमा पनि आएका छन्, चाहे त्यो टुन्ड्रा होस्, चाहे अल्पाइन होस्, चाहे डेजर्ट होस्। हर कहीँ क्षेत्रबाट चाहिँ बनाउनु भएका सिनेमा मेकरका फिल्महरूलाई हामीले अवलोकन गर्न पाउनेछौँ र यी फिल्महरूले हामीलाई आफूभित्र एकचोटि फर्केर हेर्न सिकाउनेछन् या प्रेरित गर्नेछन्, या भनौँ त्योभन्दा पनि अलिक गहिरिएर आफ्नो जीवनका सबैभन्दा महत्त्वपूर्ण प्रश्नहरूलाई चाहिँ सामना गर्न सिकाउनेछन् भन्ने म सोच्छु। र यो फेस्टिभलको एउटा जुरीको मेम्बरमा मलाई आबद्ध गराउनु भएकोमा म किम्फ फिल्म फेस्टिभलका अर्गनाइजरहरूलाई आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। अब धेरै कुरा बोल्नलाई चाहिँ छैन, सबै आतुर भइसक्नु भएको छ। लेट्स इन्जोय द फिल्म एन्ड यो फेस्टिभ मुडलाई चाहिँ एकदमै रमाइलो बनाऊ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Mr. Anupara. Our jury have watched all 40 films, and in the next few days, they will decide the top 3 films in the international competition and the top documentary film and fiction film in Nepal Panorama. We are very fortunate to have someone very special in the audience today. Let me welcome to our keynote speaker, Environmentalist and Rolex Award Laureate, Mr. Sonam Wangchuk from Ladakh. On the stage, please. I'd like to request him to share a few words with us.
नमस्कार। काठमाडौँमा बस्ने साथीहरूलाई अभिनन्दन, नमस्कार। उपत्यमा भित्र आउने बित्तिकै मलाई एकदम घर फर्केको जस्तो लाग्यो फेरि एकचोटि। त्यसको लागि धन्यवाद। म भारतबाट आएको, तर मलाई के राम्रो लाग्छ भने यताको मेरो साथीहरूले भन्छन् सोनम दाई 50% भारतीय हो र होइन 100% नेपाली हो। यो मलाई एकदम राम्रो लाग्छ। Dignitaries, film lovers, mountain lovers, and mountain film lovers, and of course filmmakers of the world, delighted to be here once again. I thank you all very much for carrying out this show for the 19th year, highlighting challenges, issues, and celebrations of the mountains. I particularly like the theme this year, climate karma. While our governments and businesses at COP26 were discussing businesses, I think climate change is too serious to be left to just governments and businesses. It has to be brought to people in the street, in the society, to their ethos, cultural, religious, spiritual, and that's what climate karma means to me. This world has seen many serious challenges in the past also. And we have been quite innovative to solve them. Let me share one of my crazy ideas, another of my crazy ideas rather. As an objective, secular problem solver or innovator, if you may say, I think that human beings have been innovative for millions of years. We may brag about our inventions of the recent past, but they have been very innovative in solving huge challenges. And to me, one of the biggest inventions of mankind was God and religion. Let me explain how. Things reflect the issues of the times. And if you have noticed, all the religions of the world worth the name emphasize on peace, non-violence, ahimsa. There might be a reason for this. And just like in COVID, laboratories don't get to see the virus when they declare you positive or negative. They look at the antibodies, the reactions. So, as well, from the fact that all ancient religions talk of himsa, violence, and speak for ahimsa, non-violence, peace, makes me infer that at some point in our history there was huge violence, physical violence, killing in every religion is seen as a no. That means to me that it was a big issue. And if you look at it from the other angle, we human beings have been around in different forms, from monkeys to apes to Homo sapiens, for some 6 million years ago or so. We see evidence of, can be slightly different. And as we became evolved animals with a very clever brain, we also became very violent and very tactful and clever in that violence also. And that was a huge challenge as we were, say, hunter-gatherers and then starting to settle as farmers. Violence among people was a huge challenge. I can imagine when you have a clever monkey mind and a lot of power that way, there could be a chaotic world where might is right. In those days, if you were very strong, you could do anything and get away with it. Your belongings could be mine, your wife could be mine, your children could be destroyed, and if you agree or differ, I could break open your skull, and that was the end of it. In such times, seers, saints, and prophets saw that it should not be left to these brutes, and the concept of God, something that is hugely more powerful, mightier, almighty than the wildest, strongest brute roaming around. And soon, it seems to have worked. People started fearing something more than other human beings, weaker beings, but something that was way more powerful, something that could carry into next life the results of your actions, the karma concept. These, I think, were amazingly innovative solutions. And the result, last time I was looking on the internet for causes of death or killing on this planet, physical violence was somewhere like number 26th. It has worked from what perhaps was the number one cause of death and destruction, had gone down to 26th. But you know what the first 1, 2, 3 were? All related to environment, lifestyle, emissions and pollution. So while we have solved the problem of the time, we have not upgraded our solution to the present times. We still talk of physical violence with guns and daggers and bows and arrows, which has been solved, more than solved. Today our challenges are how we live, our lifestyle. Today our weapons are not guns and daggers, they are our swanky looking motor cars, aeroplanes, our factory made dresses and shoes, the 40th pair we perhaps bought. Those are our weapons of mass destruction. Our cars drop a bomb of a kg of CO2 every 5 kilometers. But we don't see them as violence. And that's what is needed today. We don't see them as accumulating negative karma. That upgrade we need in our thoughts. And therefore, I see the need for an upgrade, like all our software, hardware have upgrades. So we need a God 2.0, religion 2.0. We need to upgrade and become or profess Hinduism 2.0, Islam 2.0, Christianity 2.0, Buddhism 2.0, to include this real challenge of the time. Otherwise, our religions will be outdated, and no wonder very few young people will go to our churches and temples and mosques in the coming times, because they are not relevant for the challenges of the time. So if we want to stay relevant and provide or continue the innovation, we'll have to upgrade to include the challenges of the current times. Now, challenges of the current times are our emissions, our pollution, lifestyle, as I said. And the path to liberation would be adaptation and mitigation. In the mountains, for us, mostly adaptation, because we are at the forefront as victims of climate change, together with the people living on the coastal areas. Up in the mountains of Ladakh, as in many places here, we see our glaciers melting away. We see no snow when there should be, and we see huge rains when there shouldn't be, causing shortage of water in spring when we need water, and floods and flash floods, downpours of water when we don't, or least need them. We'll have to adapt to them. We'll have to be innovative again to adapt to them. And in Ladakh, we are struggling and striving to see if we can make our own glaciers if the natural ones are going away. Ice stupas is one of them. There can be many. If we can do our agriculture more innovatively so that we consume less water and produce more. Similarly, if we can, adapt and be ready to live with rains, if slowly rainfall is going to increase, snowfall decrease, while precipitation remains the same or increases, we'll have to learn to adapt to make our valleys green, so that if the white reservoirs of water are going slowly, maybe we can create these green reservoirs by planting shrubs and trees in the high valleys so as to hold the rains. That's the kind of adaptation, innovation we'll have to engage in. Our schools need to make those things primary issues and not the same things that landed us in this mess. Blind use of science and technology, conquering nature, that started the problem in the first place some 200 years ago. We seem to be fueling the same things and expecting something different. No, we can't. We'll have to change our education system, redefine education, redefine culture, and redefine how we deal with our natural surroundings in the mountains. And there needs to be every help from governments internationally to help the mountain people adapt better. The second part is mitigation. The second path to liberation is mitigation in this spirituality 2.0. And mitigation is mostly to do with the big cities of the world, also to do with us, but much more to do with the big cities where people live a lifestyle that is so, can I say, sinful 2.0. In another way, how this whole thing is caused because of the lifestyles of the people in New Delhi and New York has to change. It has to do with energy more and more, just like adaptation has to do with water more and more. And to help people around the world with their personal choices towards this path of liberation, mitigation, we thought in Ladakh that ice stupas or passive solar heated houses that do not burn anything, therefore do not pollute or emit anything, is good. But no matter how much we can do in these mountains, we cannot change much. And therefore we have to appeal to the world to change their lifestyles. And therefore, as another series of innovation like the artificial glaciers and non-emitting, non-polluting shelters and houses, we offered the world a platform like making pledges to change their lifestyles. Now these pledges could be like conventional religion would have your religious vows. So you could have pledges for the planet, vows 2.0, where you pledge to not be a part of the problem and rather be a part of the solution. The sin line be on the virtuous side of it. So we started a campaign called I Live Simply on a platform ilivesimply.org, where people around the world who may not yet be attracted by just simply making a pledge and being good, we thought for young people to have fun and to speak in the language they understand, we made it into a crowdfunding platform where you contribute, but you contribute not your rupees or dollars, because money cannot solve these problems. You contribute pledges to change your lifestyle, and the site converts it into dollar equivalent of your impact if you live to that, just to give them an idea. So you could be pledging to switch from cars to better cars, or better still, cars to bicycles, or better still, bicycles to just simply walking where possible, or from aeroplanes to trains, from non-vegetarian, carbon-intensive food to vegetarian, or pledge to plant trees, the most virtuous act of religion 2.0, would be planting trees and collect good karmas of the climate. And the site then tells you, you contributed pledges worth $100, $200, $300. Now, these dollars are just to show how it impacts, just to judge the impact of it. So we hope that people around the world will participate in such, not just the pledge, but the action thereafter. And when people are aware and engaged, politicians will have an easier time to make policies. You know, in a democracy, governments can't go faster than their people. So we have to do our part on making the people ready and supportive for progressive policies. In India, the Prime Minister has been very progressive with climate change and environment. Sometimes I think almost too progressive. A case in point is the ban on single-use plastic. Mr. Modi declared a ban on single-use plastic. Very good, I thought, but I had my doubts, and within weeks it had to be taken back. You know why? Because people were lagging behind. They couldn't understand, they couldn't take it, and a government is bound by the limitation of the people. So we all have a great responsibility to prepare the grounds for those leaders and their daring policies to be acceptable and supported by the people. So there we need to support mitigation and appeal for mitigation. A cry from the mountains is always very loud and touching to the people who don't think twice when they live their lives in big cities. In Ladakh again, we saw that people in Ladakh do not contribute much to climate change. We are very small in number, but this entire region is highly militarized, as you know. The Indian army from Ladakh to Arunachal, the Chinese army all along, the Pakistani army, and do you know that roughly 500,000 soldiers in these cold mountains use fossil fuels that emit roughly 1 million tons on just heating and cooling, or mostly heating in this. So we saw that we have a role in mitigation also, and therefore, apart from civilians, which would have a small impact, we started making solar heated shelters for the Indian Army. Shelters that do not need any heating from fossil fuels, which was otherwise 2.2 liters per soldier, which means a huge amount annually. It's the same from the Chinese side and other armies. So if this kind of technology is developed and shared with other armies that we are now doing with the Indian Army, in India itself it could mitigate 0.3 million tons. And if the same is adopted by the other armies, then it would be mitigating 1 million tons of CO2. So these are some of the things we'll have to work in the mountains also. And while talking about armies, another thing we hear is that for climate change mitigation or adaptation, we don't have funds. We are always short of funds. I find it ridiculous. We have huge funds and we have huge number of people to do it, literally armies to do it. We need to redefine again. We need to redefine defense. We need to redefine armies. You know what the defense budget of the world is? Roughly $2 trillion. $2 trillion is the defense budget of the world. And defense means what? Protection of its citizens. Protection against what? What is the biggest threat today? Not China for India or US for China. The biggest threat is not these countries. The biggest threat is common for all of us, and that is climate change. So we need to redefine defense so that we put the food where the mouth is, where the threat is, and therefore you have $2 trillion. Even if we take half of it, leave half for conventional defense, half of it, $1 trillion is what they were asking there for climate change action. And that is there from our defense budgets. And we have armies. They're peacetime. There should not be war now because the biggest threat is common. How can we be fighting? Therefore, the armies should be available to defend us against climate change. They should be planting trees and being green, true green armies rather than doing anything else. So, funds are not an issue if we are rational human beings. You know, when two countries are like India and China squabbling over some line, to me it's like two neighbors, say in a coastal town, fighting about the fence. Your fence is moved 6 inches in mine. No, mine was already there. When they know that by evening there is a tsunami coming, and you are squabbling about the fence when the tsunami will take you both. The only difference is you can't do much about tsunamis, but you can do much about climate change. If you collaborate rather than compete, then all the defense budget is yours to deal with climate change. All the armies are there for you. So we need to redefine a lot of things. We need to redefine culture, we need to redefine religion and spirituality, we need to redefine defense, we need to redefine education, we need to redefine filmmaking and filmmakers. Just as Buddha gave wonderful concepts, one of the best that I like and we need it in these times, as Buddha said, for a human being, it's a bigger success to conquer a single desire than to fulfill 1,000. We need to learn these things, to conquer desires for the 5th house and the 40th pair of shoes, than to fulfill desires. And such beautiful concepts are there as in his time, and Thangka painters and wall painters put these concepts into beautiful depictions for it to reach people. Similarly, filmmakers of today are Thangka painters of Buddha's times, who have to put these concepts into forms. Back then they had paints and little pieces of cloth to make their tapestry from. Today you have the craft of films to put beautiful concepts and reach it out to people so that the world is much more aware and so that solutions find a fertile ground when governments and policies are made towards that. So with this, I will end my sharing of some more crazy ideas. We need to redefine, and redefine a lot of things. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sonam Wangchuk, for addressing a critical and very important issues on climate crisis. We're very grateful for your continuous contribution to environment and for engaging people from the Himalayas and beyond in eco-solutions for mountain areas. Now I'd like to invite EU Ambassador to Nepal, Her Excellency Nona de Prez, FTB Chair Mr. Dairam Dahal, our jury Mr. Anup Baral, and Mr. Sonam Wangchuk to come up on stage for Khada. I would also like to request our Festival Coordinator Nishita Thapamagar and Media Outreach Coordinator Pabita Basnet to present Khada to our guests. Now, I would like to request Mr. Sonam Wangchuk to open the festival for us. The 19th edition of kimff is officially open. Now I would like to invite our festival director, Ramita Limbu, for a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Prasna. And thank you so much, Mr. Wangchuk, for that very inspiring and thought-provoking address, making us think about how we should redefine, reimagine, and re-engage with the environment if anything is to change, and that change begins from us. We have so many people to thank in making kimff 2021 possible. All our sponsors, supporters, partners, collaborators. I won't go on one by one because most of our logos are up here and it will take a long time. The Film Development Board of Nepal for partnering with us in this edition. Thank you so much. Our jury members, Caroline, Mario, and Anup Ji. Of course, you saw them in their very engaging speeches, and Anup Ji was here. And also our jury for our short film competition and our TikTok challenge, which we will be screening on Saturday. Kedar Sharma Ji and Angel Tamang, and Bhushan Tuladar, Saur Ganga Darshandhari, and Roshan Mishra, Bhim Tamang. So this festival would not be possible with the support of many individuals. And of course, a very warm shout out to our participating filmmakers at home and abroad. Last but not the least, a very, very big thank you to you, the audience, here in the hall, who will be present at our physical screenings, at the in-person events, and also those who will be perhaps viewing kimff programs online through our Facebook live streaming. And a big shout out to Kira Crowell, the only, I think, international filmmaker who is in Nepal despite the COVID situation and scare, and Pasang Lamu Sherpa, who is here with us today. We will be viewing a film soon.
Namaste, everyone. It's such a joy to be here. Thank you so much, Ramyata, for just a phenomenal preparation and amazing opportunity for all the filmmakers. So I'm very grateful to be here, and I reassure you, I've been through enough quarantine time here, so I'm not bringing anything in. But just thrilled to be here in your presence and also to share this very special experience with my dear friend, the subject of Dream Mountain, Pasang Lamu Sherpa Ikita.
Namaste. First of all, I would like to thank Kim for having us here, and thank you so much for Kerala. And it's a very special moment for me to screening a Dream Mountain film in my own home country and with my people. And so when she asked me about the making film, I wasn't ready about the making. I'm like, are you sure? But she's like, okay, let's just keep taking our footage. We're gonna make a small movie for you, and then if you like it, we're gonna take in the mountain film, share with other people. If you don't like it, just keep it with you, and your son gonna watch in the future. And then she invited me in Santa Fe, and then she showed me the film, and I was very emotional, very happy, and I'm like, why not? I like to share this movie with others. So I hope this movie inspire you to explore your own dream, and also encourage others to follow their dreams around you. And thank you so much, and keep dreaming. Dream are possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, Pasang. We'll be screening the film, and we won't have a Q&A now immediately, but I'd just like to inform you that Kira is doing a masterclass on Saturday at 4 p.m. where she will be addressing issues, questions about the film and photography, because she is a mountain photographer, and her works are exhibited at the Tourism Board of Nepal till the 13th of December. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy the film. Thank you.